Do you ever wonder why there seems to be so much chaos and fighting in the world today? Do you feel that life and society is changing but you just can't figure out what's going on? In this video, we're going to talk about the great evolutionary shift that's happening in our world. And for many, this shift will appear very unpleasant, but it's a much necessary transition in order for us to advance. Today's video is brought to you by Pure Bulk. Pure Bulk offers a variety of over 250 of the purest, simplest, and unaltered nutritional powders and oils and capsules. You can be sure that their products are free from any added flavors, anti-caking agents, and additives. And everything is tested by a well-established third-party laboratory. So if you're interested in taking your supplement game to the next level, please check out purebulk.com and use our affiliate link below to receive 10% off your next order. Hi everybody, I'm Miss Raina. Today we're going to talk about the next stage in our human evolution that's happening right now. This evolutionary change is going to appear and seem chaotic to most, but it's allowing us to strip away our old life and welcome in a new higher vibration so that we can develop into more sentient beings. Understanding this concept is important for us so that we don't get caught up in our anger and chaos, which will allow us not to make the jump. Today I'm going to help you understand the importance of what's going on right now and how to get through your challenges so that you can evolve through this progression. This transition that we're going through is called the jump, and it's an extremely important piece to the human existence for the simple fact that all beings in the universe must evolve. Since humanity is at a very low evolutionary period, it is essential for all humanity to go through this transition of releasing our old ways and belief systems and adopting to new higher vibrational thought processes. Understanding the process of the jump is something that we all must learn and come to terms with in order for us to remove ourselves from such a low, dense vibrational state. In order for you to go through this transition, you have to start letting go of your habits, the victim inside, and any unresolved anger. And, well, plainly, you have to start getting over your challenges in life. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck living like this. And it's going to be a very rough life for those who don't make the transition. You must learn to work with the jump and not fight it. And you have to make sure not to succumb to the chaos of the world, because otherwise anger and judgment will be your path and your fate. To all those that make the jump, it's going to seem like a completely new and separate world. But to the people who don't make the jump, it's going to seem like the same old world as if nothing's changed. Unfortunately, many of us are looking at the jump as a very stressful and chaotic time. If we look around the world, we see people fighting, protests happening, a resurgence of racism, and everything just seems to be a mess. This perception is not only a limited one, but it's also an illusion to what's actually happening. Most of us accept that chaos and change are one and the same, but this is not true. The reason why we call it chaos is because it seems to be painful and it creates suffering. But in reality, although these two experiences appear to be similar, they are only alike because we're fighting the change that is taking place and stopping our own progression. When changes happen in your life and you find it to be a bit chaotic, it's because you're refusing to adapt to a new and higher vibration. So why is the jump happening now? In actuality, jumps have happened quite often throughout our existence, and we look at these periods as great changes in our time of history. If we look through the past, we've seen times of the caveman and fire, to the times of advancing, of having languages and creating society, to the rise and fall of great empires. Although it appears as a changing of a guard, these were all conscious shifts happening at the end of certain periods of time. So the reason why it's happening now in the simplest and most basic terms is because certain points of evolution need to take place to be experienced before we could evolve to the understanding of what we're going through now. In advanced terms, the jump has a lot to do with geometric shapes and the alignment of certain numbers that's allowing us to bring in certain energies of growth and new perceptions. But that's for a later video. Let's think about it this way. It's kind of like the movie 13 going on 30. If you remember the character Jenna, she went from being a 13-year-old to a 30-year-old and having all the things she thought she wanted. She had the career, the money, and even the lifestyle that she always dreamt about. But she found herself lacking the necessary life experiences and the mentality or the consciousness that was needed to be a 30-year-old. And because of this, she was unable to have the understanding of how to deal with her current problems and situations. So just like Jenna, in order for us to evolve into who we were meant to be, we first have to go through a whirlwind of experiences in order for our consciousness to truly be ready for the jump. The reason why this shift that's happening now seems a little different than the other shifts that have happened before in the past is because for the first time in the human evolutionary period, we're expanding past a low vibrational way of thinking. We are moving beyond the ideas of selfishness, codependency, and limiting beliefs, and moving towards a much more open, compassionate, and broader way of viewing life. This will help our society advance in the way we live our lives. Think of no longer being angry at people that have different opinions than ourselves, or getting upset at the way the world is reacting to difficult situations. Imagine being a person who sees their experiences not as being attacked by someone, but by someone who is gaining knowledge and experience of growth and expansion. If you allow yourself to grow with this transition, then you'll start to see a person who is more understanding and a compassionate individual. Many people are talking about going from a 3D world to a 5D world, and this seems to be confusing a lot of people. So let's break it down so that everyone can understand what's really going on. First, our world is not going to transition from a three-dimensional world through a portal into a fifth dimension. Contrary to popular belief, we will not be living in the fifth dimension. The actual jump is more of a way of living and experiencing life than an actual worldly transition. So instead of our world going through a portal and living in the fifth dimension, what's actually going to happen is the way our consciousness will be experiencing life. So what does this look like? For those of us who are going to make the jump, we're going to go from an ego-based identity to a soul-based identity. We're no longer going to see separation in the world, but we're going to see a more unified way of living. Love will no longer be conditional, but unconditional. We will understand that we are the creators of our reality and that we have the power to move away from being the victim and being powerless. And we will live through thinking and experiencing through the heart rather than the mind. So, Miss Raina, what do we have to do to get through this jump? The first thing that we have to do is to let go of control, especially in the way of how we live, what we want in life, and how we're going to get it. We must be willing to work through our past and resolve our anger, our resentment, and our ego. We have to remember that when we live in ideas such as anger, jealousy, resentment, or even our limiting beliefs, this keeps us at a very low, stagnant vibration. This is why we see the world as painful, suffering, and hard. So if you want to make this jump, then you're going to have to put yourself first, especially in the sense of truly wanting to evolve. If you're unwilling to change, then what you're experiencing now will always be a part of your life. So remember that you're so much stronger than you think, and you have the capability to work through anything. So believe in yourself and push yourself through what's necessary to make this jump. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to follow and like us, and feel free to leave a comment below. If you have a topic that you'd love to hear about regarding spirituality or alternative healing, please email me. The link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.